To Greg and Cheryl.
Thank you, Carrie. Well, from frame to fork and stem, Aaron Dykstra carefully crafts each handmade bicycle that leaves his shop in Roanoke.
Well, Aaron is here with us this morning to walk us through the process of building a bike step by step. And he has some details on a national show visiting the River City next weekend. Aaron, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for biking in today. With this beautiful piece of art, really.
Thank you.
I would imagine this is your canvas, right?
Yeah, it really is. It's you know, it's a labor of love. It's a lot of work. It's an effort to stand out against high production. You know, a lot of hours, up to 80 hours, goes into making a frame, and it's a lot of handwork and a lot of time, and it's a passion.
I guess I never thought of something like this coming from anything other than just like a multi-manufactured kind of situation.
You know, for a long time they were made by hand in Europe, and through the big boom in the 40s and 50s, and they just went to production to cut costs. And it's still great. You can make great bikes, but a lot of times the new carbon and aluminum bikes, while they're beautiful, but they make so many of them so fast that they're really almost disposable after a couple seasons of riding.
Well, Aaron, I know the cyclists that are really into it. It is a passion for them
Absolutely.
as well. Tell us, for these people, the market for handmade bikes, is it something that it's really sought after?
It really is. It's a very niche market, but it's for people who definitely know what they want. It's something, a lot of times, traditionally, custom bikes were made for people who have a hard time fitting on a regular bike. Say if you have really long arms, or you're especially tall or short. This is a customer's bike who is a little bit shorter, so when you go custom, you're allowed to make something specifically fit for them, like a custom suit.
Right.
But you can go through and just tailor each tube exactly to the person's specification. It really allows you to do a lot with getting the most out of a ride quality out of a bike.
Well, let's talk about where you started. Were you a cyclist first or a bicycle maker first? Or
yeah,
how did this
I've been
happen?
a passionate cyclist for as long as I can remember, and frame building is just kind of the ultimate tier of bike geekdom, if you will. So I finally got a chance. I studied with a master frame builder a few years ago, and really learned a lot. It's kind of a dying art form, just because it's almost an exercise in inefficiency, but that's actually the beauty within.
You were saying that these mass-produced bikes are almost disposable these days, but something like this that's handcrafted and handmade, how long will something like this
It'll
last?
last a lifetime. It really will. They're steel, so a lot of people will think, oh, won't it rust and fall apart eventually? But the quality of the steel that's used is really just top-notch, and it's treated, and as long as you take care of it, it'll last you a lifetime and beyond.
So I guess this is a silly question, but what makes a handcrafted bicycle different than one you would buy in a store?
Well, a lot of times the major manufacturers, when they make bikes, to cut costs, they basically will make them in 3 or 4 sizes, sometimes up to 6. But just like shoes or anything else, you're not always going to fall in between on those sizes. So, and at the same time, they'll always use similar tubes throughout the size. So someone who's 5'2" and weighs 140 pounds will be riding the same materials as someone who's 6'2" and 200 pounds. And while that works, to really get the most out of the experience, you need to go through and custom fit each tube with the intent of the rider.
I would imagine with handcrafted bikes, they're a little bit more expensive.
They are, but when you look at what goes into them, it's really not a bad deal at all. The amount of work that goes into them, it's really intense.
And as you mentioned, this is going to last you a lifetime if you want to.
It really will. So you look at buying a couple bikes, and that may be more expensive than buying one custom.
Are you like an author that works on maybe one book at a time, or are you always building?
No, I really like to focus on each frame at a time. That way I can really let the creativeness come out, and really just focus and stay on topic with the one frame.
Oh, Aaron, thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
It's a great trait.
You're
Fantastic.
quite the artist.
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks so much. Nice to meet you.
Hey, listen, check out custom-made bikes at the North American Handmade Bicycle Show here in Richmond. It's next weekend at the Greater Richmond Convention Center. Check out the link on our website for tickets and details and information and all the builders like Aaron Dykstra. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.